by far the stupidest Marvel movie ever made. Stupid from the beginning, stupid to the end. Well, you know what? That's not a fair statement. The beginning of the movie isn't stupid. Spoilers. The beginning of the movie is Christian Bale as Gore wandering through the desert with his child, starving, dying from thirst, from hunger. When they come across the oasis plateau of the god that he worships, okay, which sets the tone for some god-killing badassery from Gore the God Butcher. Okay, so that first 5 minutes, that setup is there, and then the rest of the movie, it's nothing but a bunch of stupid, jokey jokes, parody, garbage, 80s schlock. But at some point, I had to think to myself, is Taika Waititi punking us? Is he trying to see how much stupid shit that's not funny, that he can just put whatever in the movie and it's still going to make millions of dollars because it's a Marvel movie? But on the flip side of that, is it that he has no real filter? He doesn't have to edit himself because his film's been so popular, because he's made so much money. They just give him free reign to let him do what he wants. Because when I tell you this is the stupidest Marvel movie, just from one stupid sight gag to the next stupid sight gag, it's just parody, just stupid from beginning to end. Just wow. A waste of Christian Bale's character, a waste of Christian Bale. If you take each scene that he's in as Gore, his acting's superb. But I wonder if Christian Bale watched this entire movie. If he watched the entire film, I wonder how he feels knowing that all the effort and all the sweat that he put into this character, into this villain of this character, this God Butcher, that's spliced in between all the rest of this goofy schlock comedy bullshit that is Thor: Love and Thunder. So you're going in there to have a good time. We're going off of the heels of Waititi's Ragnarok, which was phenomenal. It was awesome. It was hilarious. It was great action. The story of the fall of Asgard, though all the tongue-in-cheek bullshit that's existed from the beginning of Marvel, that's continued to be a force in all of their films, as if they can't make a film without a billion jokes in it. When you take something like Ragnarok, and if you're familiar with the Norse mythology and the destruction of Asgard, hey, that's pretty damn serious. Back to Love and Thunder. We know that the point it's going to be is like some schlocky 80s throwback, which is really not. It's just the soundtrack's 80s throwback, but it's just a bunch of goofy bullshit. Guardians of the Galaxy are only in this movie for like 10 minutes. They're beginning of the movie. I thought they were going to be throughout the film, but they're not. They're just in the beginning of the movie. To give a little setup of what they've been doing since Thor was with them at the end of Endgame, right? But they take off and they don't come back at all. Where to begin? Move over Doctor Strange's cape of levitation. You've got a new inanimate object that's a jackass as well. So would you believe me if I told you guys there's a point in the film where Thor shares a beer with Stormbreaker? Would you believe me if I said that throughout the film there's a bunch of running jokes about Thor trying to get back with Millionaire, and Stormbreaker showing up and Thor getting flustered? It's like, hey, I'm not doing anything. As if Millionaire's his ex-hammer. It's all throughout the movie. Would you believe me if I told you that Thor's two magical goats, what's it, Teeth Grinder and Teeth Gnasher, however the Norwegian translations of their names go, okay? That in mythology, there Thor's goats that pull his chariot and allows him to travel, but he can also eat them for sustenance and then resurrect them again with Mjolnir, and they come back and he can eat them again, and so on and so forth. So the way they're incorporated into the MCU in this deal here are two jackass, loud, human screaming goats playing off of the goat meme on the internet, with all the goats shouting and yelling and screaming and sound like humans. That's their role throughout the movie. So anytime they're involved, they're just screaming their heads off the entire time. Yeah. And it cracked me up because it's so stupid. And it's like no one in the theater got the jokes of how stupid it was. It's like it's going over everybody's head. The amount of garbage that was in that movie. That the jokes fell flat. There was barely anyone laughing in the movie. Except for me. And I'm laughing because stuff's like really stupid. It can be entertaining and stupid at the same time. But just one stupid thing after the next. Up until Christian Bale comes on the screen as Gore. And then we get all serious and gloomy. With the exception of one scene that he had where he gets to do a puppet show with the children of New Asgard. He gets to goof off a little bit. But for the most part, his entire performance is completely out of place in this movie. Would you believe me if I said that Russell Crowe playing Zeus is some braggadocious, broken English, kind of stereotype A, foreigner, jackass, Hulk Hogan, a wrestler in front of all these gods and all these other people in the arena, big time jerk-off asshole. The father of Hercules, yes, is just a WWF character jackass, played by Russell Crowe. Oh, man. You know, I'd given up on ever trying to get any kind of serious film out of Marvel in the MCU, with the exception of the first 40 minutes of Winter Soldier, as usual. With all the missed opportunities that they've always had with Thor films, which I blame the writers and I blame Chris Hemsworth, because in many interviews, Chris Hemsworth has always said, you know, how can you really take it seriously? A character with flowing blonde hair, and you can't really take it seriously. It's like, yep, you can't take it seriously. So that's why it's got to be schlocky and joke-filled, and that's why in Thor 2: The Dark World, during the ending battle, when he's fighting Malekith, he takes a subway train to get back to him, and a woman's got her head resting on his shoulder. Yeah, you can't take it seriously. I remember telling people when Thor 2: Dark World came out how much it sucked and it was a romantic comedy, and they looked at me like I was an asshole. I mean, yeah, I am kind of an asshole. But it's like, what are you talking about? It's a romantic comedy. It's action. It's Marvel movies in action. No, it's a romantic comedy. And this one, this Love and Thunder, is a complete schlock fest of bullshit and just stupid gags. A lot of gags that, again, don't even work. And just over-the-top stuff where like, CC doesn't have to reel himself in. I guess you figure, hey, I can make Hitler funny. I can play Hitler, make Hitler funny in Jojo Rabbit. So anything I can do could be funny. $20 in 3D. See that bullshit. There's a mid-credit scene and there's an ending credit scene, but I'm jumping the gun here. This is as close as we're ever going to get to Thor's armor. The battle armor that created by Walt Simonson. That's the closest that we're ever going to get to it. I don't think there's a real need for me to get into the storyline that deals with Jane Foster. If you're familiar with the comics storyline that went on, we'll just leave that as is. Literally full of stupid, schlocky bullshit. But the deal with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir and this whole love triangle, the love triangle with the hammer and an axe, as opposed to the love triangle that was supposed to happen years ago between Thor, Jane Foster, and Lady Sif, who makes an appearance in this film. Jamie Alexander, hey, how are you? Back in the Thor movie again, eh? For 3 minutes. But at least they got her a comic book accurate helmet this time for the 3 minutes that she's in the movie with one arm. Unbelievable. So many wasted and just completely spent opportunities to do something that could have been like completely outstanding and phenomenal, but unfortunately it was already on a completely different wavelength that it could only keep going this way until it just doesn't borderline on parody. It's just nothing but a shockfest, joke-filled 2 hours of jokes that aren't that funny, of sight gags that aren't that funny, things that you don't even know what the hell's going on if you blink. How are we at the 4th Thor film and Queen's Hammer to Fall still hasn't been used? If I'm not mistaken, Queen's catalog is owned by Hollywood Records, and Hollywood Records is owned by Disney. How do we not have that yet? I mean, we got Immigrant sung by Led Zeppelin for Ragnarok. How have we not had Hammer to Fall yet? Hammer to Fall! Or God of Thunder by Kiss. Where the fuck is Beta Ray Bill?